This is the Business Today for February 16, 2016. I'm Marlon Madden. Chief Executive Officer of Digicel Barbados, Connor Looney, has defended the credibility of an independent study which puts Digicel as the fastest 4G network on the island. Though the study has not been made public, Looney tells Business Today he stands by the assessment, which was done about a month ago. The Digicel Commissioned survey was conducted by the US-based company Brightcoms between January 5 and 12. A release from Digicel stated that the study also hailed the company's 2G or voice network for call quality. However, 2 days after, Digicel's competitor Flow released an independent study which claimed that Flow had the fastest, strongest and most reliable network in Barbados.
I've seen the advertisements. What I can state is that we had a world-recognized independent auditor come to Barbados in January and independently assess here in Barbados our network relative to the other network. And factually, based on that independent assessment, Digicel is the fastest 4G network in Barbados. And in addition, the fibre network that we just rolled out, off that network, we're delivering the fastest home broadband service in the country. That's the facts, and that's what the independent assessors and auditor has said only 4 weeks ago.
Officials of local ice cream manufacturer Bico Limited are optimistic about the future of the company and the Barbados economy. The company recorded a 15% increase in profits before tax for the financial year ending September 30, 2015. And General Manager Joan Pooler says for the current financial year, things are already looking promising. The company recorded a 14% increase in its food services division and a 13% reduction in energy costs for the period under review.
So far, for this financial year, things are looking pretty much as they were for the last financial year. So we do feel that there's promise on the horizon for the economy. We did some restructuring in Harbour Cold Store to make a more efficient structure over there, and we are starting to see the benefits of that. So yes, obviously there was an initial investment, but we are seeing the benefits of that now, so we are very pleased with that.
However, Pooler says the performance of the mobile fleet operation was down last year compared to the previous year.
The mobile fleet actually had a more challenging year last year than it did the year before. We had found that the year before they'd had a substantial increase. Last year it was a slight decrease year on year. We're not sure the reason for that. The year before we thought that the reason that was because people had less disposable income and therefore were not buying ice cream in the supermarkets and that kind of thing. We're not sure exactly what the reason was with the mobile fleet. This year just finished. Other than there were a couple of promotions that they opted not to participate in, because our mobile fleet are actually independent guys. Although they look like Bico salesmen, they're actually independent guys with their own independent business. So they get the option if they want to participate in a special program or not. And obviously if they don't, then we have to advertise as such.
And with a bumper tourist season last year, Pooler says the ice cream company witnessed an increase in business in the cold storage department, especially when it came to produce. Pooler says the company plans to further drive down its operation costs over the coming months by installing more photovoltaic systems on its buildings. Telecommunications provider Cable and Wireless has recorded US $595 million in revenue for the third quarter ending December 31st, 2015. The company also reported a 16% increase, or US $238 million in earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. An upbeat Chief Executive Officer of Cable and Wireless, Phil Bentley, says the company's strategies are working. Mobile was up 1% for the quarter, with Caribbean growth driven by continued subscriber additions in Jamaica, which was up 15%. Broadband was up 5%, while video grew by 7% for the quarter under review. However, group net debt was US $2.865 billion, an increase of US $33 million since September 2015. In its statement, the company said the regulatory process in relation to the proposed acquisition of the company by Liberty Global was ongoing and the scheme document was expected to be dispatched by March 16, 2016, with completion in the second quarter of this year. Now for today's financial tip. Be sure to separate your personal and business bank accounts. It is easy to lose track of your cash reserves and keep funding your business expenses from your personal account. And by doing so, you could find yourself at the end of the month without enough money to pay for your living expenses. That's been the Business Today. Join us again on Thursday. Until then, you can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.pb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook. I'm Marlon Ladd.